Hello everyone, welcome to a different kind of video. Now, I know what you're thinking. Reading the title, it's not the kind of video you'd expect me to be releasing. However, I am going to talk today about Captain America Brave New World, giving my honest opinions, and we'll be making sure it is a spoiler-free review. There'll be a bit of Fortnite gameplay going on in the background for you to enjoy at the same time as me playing while I'm talking through. So let me just drop straight into the thing and say, oh my God, this film is amazing. It's actually going to break the pattern that has been going on from the post-Endgame pattern, saying that all the films post-Endgame had been bad. I have no script for this, by the way. I'm going to be talking straight from the heart, talking straight from my personal opinions. I literally saw it today, just about like under 12 hours ago, so it's still quite fresh in my memory. So I want to talk about it while I can. So I'm going to open up and say that if you're here to find out about credit scenes, there is just the one credit scene, and it's at the very, very end. I'll talk about it later. However, there is just one credit scene. I won't explain anything. I won't say anything about it. So if you just want to know about the credit scenes, there's just the one at the very, very end. So let's hop in and talk about the film. It's a really, really good film. It does a really beautiful story. The story has been set up perfectly. There's just a lot to talk about with this film. There's a lot I can talk about with this film, but there's hardly anything I can talk about without giving away too many spoilers. I would love to go like deep dive, and I probably will end up doing a deep dive into talking about this film once the Hulk, most of the people have seen it. It won't be not be for a while, but it will happen, and I will talk about it further. Hopefully, if you guys enjoy this kind of video, later on down the line. So, I'm just gonna talk about how positive, like, the story for the film really sets up to be. It's a really, really good film. There is a clear, consistent story. I think with the Marvel movies, they've been focusing too heavy on multiversal stories. You know, so you saw it in Doctor Strange, you saw it in other countless Marvel titles, that it kind of ruined the story because you're focusing too heavily on the multiverse. Once they take away the multiverse aspect of things, like they did in Deadpool and Wolverine, kind of, you see there is a lot of positive growth towards the story. I really, really did enjoy Esperanto's character. His character was brilliant. I think Harrison Ford, Stadium Ross, his character once again, brilliant. You know, there was a clear-cut story being told by Thaddeus Ross through the story that it felt like you are connecting with him and you're going on the journey with Sam, with Anthony Mackie's character, Captain America, obviously. But of course, there's all sorts I could talk about, like Danny Ramirez, as who I'm going to say now, as you can see in the trailers, is our new Falcon. He's setting up nicely. I think, from what I can understand, the whole idea of bringing in a new Falcon is setting up Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is very clearly going to be set around the Young Avengers. You know, we've already seen a younger Hawkeye get brought into things. We've already seen Tony setting up Morgan to be potentially a new Iron Man. We've seen these characters get set up to become a young Avenger squad, which I think I will talk about heavily later. But I think we could be seeing a young Avengers formed together for Secret Wars. But I want to keep talking how positive it is as Anthony Mackie being Captain America. His Captain America performance was amazing. It's, without spoilers, it's more of him learning to be Captain America rather than him being a Captain America. And I think that's exactly what we needed from Steve Rogers, aka Chris Evans, Captain America. We needed to see more of him learning to be Captain America within the first one. You know, it was a bit too clear that he knew he was Captain America. He just jumped right into the role. But with Anthony Mackie and Sam, you know, he's taking over a legacy of Captain America. You know, he realized, and throughout this film, has to go on this journey of saying, well, I was Captain America. There was a Captain America. This is who I am now. How can I ever live up to who is set in front of me? It's it's a brilliantly told story for Sam Wilson, and I think overall, the whole story together was perfectly well told. It was really, really well done, and I think it's just I can't stop talking. Like, I can't stop saying positive. I'm not affiliated with Marvel. I'm not being sponsored by Marvel to talk positively. I'm honestly speaking from my honest opinion. I've been going to see Marvel movies in the cinema since Guardians of the Galaxy, like years and years ago, on like opening weekends, opening weeks. I've been going to constantly see these films in cinemas. To As an MCU lover, I have been so devastated by the slow decline that has happened since post Endgame, especially around the TV series as well. I've not really been enjoying the TV series as much. I think they're slightly less good compared to the movies. I still watch the TV series, obviously, but there's a lot of final recognition going on within this movie that I think is perfect for setting things up nicely for the future. You know, if you guys are wondering what movies you need going forward into this movie, you need Eternals. You need to know your Eternals lore, which I know surprisingly people don't enjoy, but Eternals is very, very important towards the plot of Captain America: Brave New World. It's very heavily centered around the events that happened in Eternals. There's lots of events from previous MCU movies. You need to know your MCU Phase 1 movies if you really, really want to understand this movie really, really well. I think obviously you want to know Falcon and Winter Soldier as well, because that of course is more heavily centered around I say Captain America. Yeah, it is Captain America. Anthony Mackie's Captain America starting to become the Captain America. This is his final arc of learning to become Captain America and him setting himself up to be the Captain America that we will now have in our MCU. I think people are going to be slightly upset the fact that Red Hulk was announced, and don't get me wrong, I understand that. Of course, we went into the movie, we all saw the trailers, we knew Red Hulk was coming. I think if they hadn't had revealed Red Hulk was on the way, I think this movie could have been a 10 out of 10 movie. It kind of gave away a lot of the plot, because you could tell it was building towards it. But like, if you hadn't known that it was building towards it, you know, with the way that Thaddeus Ross was doing it, you know, there would have been that surprise feeling of, well, hang on, what is going on? Is this building to something bigger? It would have been much better if they hadn't announced about the Red Hulk. I think if they had kept that secret, then that would have been perfect. But as I said, like, it's still a brilliant movie regardless of the spoil of Red Hulk. So I think we should keep talking about the whole new Falcon idea, because the new Falcon is, as I said, like tearing up the new Avengers. But I think the character they've chosen for it is brilliant. Jaquen Torres, I think, is the name of the character. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but Danny Ramirez playing the character. I did a bit of research into Jaquen Torres, and I think Danny Ramirez, the energy he put into this character, you know, it's a lot about this new Falcon growing as well as our Captain America growing, and it's really, really nice to see that, you know, we are going to still have these characters, these heroes that we know and love, but they're just different faces end of the day. You know, it's going to be an amazing future for the MCU if they can continue executing things like this correctly. You know, they did well with Deadpool and Wolverine. We know that. This movie has, in my opinion, is equally as good as what Deadpool and Wolverine could be. Well, I say could be, is. It shows really, really well what Marvel can do when they don't focus so heavily on the multiverse. So, all the positives on the film aside, I'm going to start talking about the future. What this movie sets up for the future of our MCU. Especially with the end credit scene as well. I think the end credit scene is primarily focused towards setting up our Doomsday. You know, our big Avengers film coming out next year. I think Doomsday is very, very nicely started to set up. It's not set up perfectly here, but the dominoes are starting in place for Doomsday to be released next year. I think it's starting to build hype, in my opinion. Like, The end credit scene does the main focus of it, but of course we know from the trailers that, you know, Ross wants Captain America. He wants Sam to build a new Avengers. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what a Falcon Avengers team could look like. Well, I say Falcon, I should say Captain America. What a Sam Captain America team will look like, because of course it looks as if Sam will be the leader of the new Avengers. So who do I think could be in the new Avengers? I honestly wouldn't know, but I think Ant-Man would be on there. You know, Ant-Man and Cap, Sam, you know, they've had a good connection. They've had a good history. I think Doctor Strange would have to be on the Avengers. I think there would be so many different characters that would have to be on the Avengers, on a Sam Avengers, that it could be really interesting to see what happens. I think, though, we'll have to wait for further MCU projects this year. I think we've got Thunderbolts coming out next. So I think Thunderbolts might do more to set up Doomsday, because I think it's coming to that point now where Doomsday has to be set up. But it does a really, really nice job. And as I said, I think with the whole focus towards Jaqen's Falcon being there, I think Secret Wars is very heavily going to be Young Avengers focused. I think we're going to be seeing potentially the Young Avengers come together in Secret Wars to, well, potentially defeat Doctor Doom, because we're kind of going to figure that Doctor Doom's going to win in Doomsday, potentially taking down the main Avengers, and so we have to see the Young Avengers come together to take out Doctor Doom and save the big Avengers, not the Young Avengers. But it's going to be interesting, and I really, really did enjoy this. And as I said, I'm not going off script by this. I'm literally going off just improv here. I'm literally speaking off improv, and it's really, really great. I think this movie is a very, very solid 8 out of 10. If they didn't spoil the whole Red Hulk, it would have been a 10 out of 10 movie. Even with the whole spoiler of Red Hulk being there, it's still a really well-crafted movie. It's still really well-crafted by Marvel, and I really, really did enjoy it. And I think most MCU fans who are waiting for a good MCU project should go into this with a positive and a, you know, don't go in with as high expectations as you normally would with an MCU project, but still going with good expectations for a good project, because it's gonna be good. I can tell you now, it's a very, very good film, and I cannot wait till it gets digital and I can talk about it a bit further, because I'm going to do more of these commentary type videos. I think these commentary type videos I'm going to try and do some more of. I think I'm going to try and talk about more movies like this every so often. But it's a very, very good film, and I hope you guys do enjoy these commentary type videos as well. But that is all I'm going to talk about for today, because if I continue talking, I'm going to end up giving away spoilers. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of commentary video, this very different type of video. As I said, I think it's a very, very good film. If you are a Marvel fan, do go see it, please, because it's so, so worth it. It's so worth going to see. But yeah, thank you all for watching. It's been amazing to talk to you guys today, and I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.